Work is underway to create a new Smithsonian National Museum of the American Latino in Washington, D.C. With nearly 20% of the U.S. population, or more than 60 million people, Latinos or people of Hispanic origin. They're the fastest growing minority group in the country. And the effort to build a museum that reflects so much diversity is a years-long undertaking. Ed O'Keefe spoke with some of the key players.
When you think of Latinos in America, what comes to mind? Music, food, theater, but also Supreme Court justices, business owners, athletes, veterans, a massive block of voters with buying power of nearly $2 trillion. And now all of that history will be housed in a new Smithsonian museum, the National Museum of the American Latino.
I think we need to disabuse viewers of the notion that somehow this is for, by, and about us, right? It's for everyone.
Eduardo Diaz is acting director of the museum to be.
Why is this museum needed?
I think Latinos are so foundational, and we're growing still, and we're going to be here. I think it's a good opportunity for you to get to know us a little bit better.
Diaz already has a team of 16 curators working across the Smithsonian system. So what can visitors expect to see at the new museum? Diaz says it'll start before America was, well, America.
These people, our indigenous people, were here before the arrival of Europeans.
From there, it'll cover the span of U.S. Latino history, from the U.S.-Mexico War, the possession of Puerto Rico, subjects like immigration.
You'll see a Cuban balsa, a raft that Cuban refugees used to cross from Cuba to the United States. I mean, it's built out of styrofoam and duct tape. You know what kind of courage it took to get in that boat, like a plaza.
And coming next spring, a temporary exhibit housed in the American History Museum that'll showcase some of what will eventually move to the new home.
This will be it.
This is the Molina Gallery.
After decades of intense lobbying, Congress last year approved plans for the new museum. It's expected to cost hundreds of millions of dollars, with Congress footing half the bill and private fundraising paying for the rest. That's where some of the biggest names in Latino business and entertainment, like music producer Emilio Estefan, come in.
The Latino community, I think, is going to come through in a big way. We want to become very creative, because realistically, to raise that amount of money, you don't need $10 million. It's some people, if every Latino will give $5, that makes the number.
I like your idea, though. If every Latino gave $5, we'd be all set.
I'm going to send you the number. We have to send you $5.
Emilio immigrated from Cuba and eventually launched the Miami Sound Machine with his wife, Gloria Estefan.
I think a lot of people take the United States for granted. We don't take it for granted. We take it to recognize that we're blessed.
The board will not only be helping raise money, but also advise what goes in the museum. Estefan is joined by a diverse group of Latino leaders from across business, retail, and entertainment, including Sofia Vergara, Jose Andres, and Eva Longoria. Exactly where the museum gets built is still part of a classic Washington fight.
We're of one mind on this. This is not a debate.
By law, the museum's board of trustees includes 2 members of Congress, and California Democrat Tony Cardenas and Washington State Republican Jamie Herrera Butler agree. The museum needs to be on the mall.
That beautiful swath of land that goes from the United States Capitol all the way past the Washington Monument. It was actually created for monuments and museums.
Potential locations include the famed Arts and Industries Building, an agriculture department building on the mall, or an area just outside the Capitol. Either way, members of the board expect the museum to tell Latino success stories and to focus on the importance of family.
Latino history is American history. And without our story being told so that people in this country and people in the world can see how beautiful our country is and what we contribute as Latinos,
I think it's going to help tell the story of a more perfect union. The momentum behind this is just critical. It's critical, and it's critical that we pass that on. I cannot wait to take my children.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Ed O'Keefe in Washington.
I'm so glad they're doing that.
Yeah.
I love Mr. Diaz when he said it's a chance for people to get to know us a little better.
Yeah.
And Latino history is American history.
It is.
I think it's so important that this is happening.
That's right. Shout out to all of our Latino brothers and sisters.
Including Ed O'Keefe. Don't be fooled by the last name.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that museum will be a reflection of how much they are appreciated in this country and around the world.
And the difference they made.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Send in your $5.